Save today at Room to Room's President's Day sale. 55% off furniture and mattresses, 20% off accessories, and 24-month special financing. The time to act is now.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
You did it. You survived Monday. Now the rest of the week is in store, and it's not going to be too bad, especially with temperatures remaining where they're at. I'm meteorologist Gabe. You're here for Mississippi Live Weather at 10, and I know it was a beautiful day today, and we have a little bit more of it before those rain chances do move back into the forecast. Those rain chances returning on your Tuesday. Like I said, still a little bit of time, meaning those chances going to be on the back end of your Tuesday by a good margin as well. Stormy opening weekend, that's where we could get a few rumbles of thunder, and opening weekend being college baseball. Yeah, it's that season. The year flying by, but definitely excited about it, especially with State being a little bit higher ranked this year. A little bit of respect, new coach, new team. Going to be an exciting time. Mild temperatures along the way, and I even put a 0 in there. I don't know why, but we're just really emphasizing along the way, meaning it's going to be an extended stretch that we're going to be seeing those mild temperatures stick around. The first 12, as we enter into those overnight hours, you see 54 degrees by 11, but early hours of our Tuesday going to be in the low 50s. Imagine that. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, guys, low 50s would have been a temperature we dreamed about. Now, it's the lowest part of the scale whenever we're talking about that next 24-hour forecast. So we're definitely appreciating what we have now, but we're also pairing those more mild temperatures with a breezy wind out of the south around 10 miles an hour. That's going to give some relief to some of those warmer conditions, especially by the afternoon, with 66 degrees in the forecast already by 11 a.m. Toasty forecast tomorrow. Are you excited? I know I am. Let's go ahead and get a look outside at some of the calm conditions that we're getting across North Mississippi. This, of course, a look out of the North Mississippi Storm Chaser camera there in Tupelo, presented to us by Mitchell Cunningham and Bowling. And what I'm seeing right now is 52 degrees, dew point in the upper 40s with a very calm wind. Now, patchy fog, not exactly expected, but not impossible, especially in those areas where it's a calmer forecast, and that includes right here in Tupelo. If we look out in Batesville, a calm wind forecast out there too. 50 degrees, dew point right around that same margin, just a hair under in the upper 40s. So patchy fog, not impossible there either, especially as that dew point starts to climb more and more into our Tuesday. Now a 3-mile-an-hour breeze coming out of the south there in Stark Vegas, 54 degrees, dew point around that same margin, once again showing that there is a lot of moisture in the air. That's what's allowing these mild temperatures to be in the forecast, but unfortunately will bring some hazards in and of itself. We're talking rain chances Tuesday, but we're also talking about that patchy fog possible. Temperatures across the area still seeing low 60s. Guys, it's 10 o'clock and it's low 60s. Spring is here. Oh, it's not technically here, but we're at least getting a taste of it this week. 60 degrees Cleveland, 63 Greenwood, Clarksdale, 55 Senatobia, 51 Tupelo, 54 Columbus, and 60 Aliceville, Macon, and 61 down there in Winston County around Louisville. Now that temperature difference from the past 24 hours, this morning was not cold whatsoever, but getting into our forecast Tuesday gets even warmer. So again, no reason to complain about this forecast. We're going to soak up all of this warm air while we can, especially with what we've gone through the past couple of weeks. We definitely deserve some warm relief. Across the area, calm conditions once again, a little bit of cloud cover out west, but that's just that moisture building back into North Mississippi. You have this high pressure center that's off there towards the east, and with this dominant ridging pattern that we've had, basically this high pressure center extends all the way into the southeast. So that's why we're still getting some of that southerly breeze into the Mississippi area, and yes, all the way up into North Mississippi. So as that builds that moisture in, that's where we will increase our rain chances once this frontal system pushes further towards the south. This is going to be our lifting mechanism. These are the ingredients. Those two things together, that's what's giving us that rainy forecast getting into our Tuesday night. Yes, it'll be after that sun sets that we see those rain chances start to climb, and we'll see on Futurecast just how that progresses through the area. So it'll start moving through the Midwest across Topeka, Wichita, Kansas City by 3 a.m. and gradually shifts more towards Oklahoma City and Arkansas. Now, you see what it's doing already. Look at the showers that are already starting to develop there towards Arkansas by 6 a.m. This is that moisture paired with the lifting mechanism allowing for those showers to take place. And as that continues to move across Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, even back there towards Texas, you're getting that moisture interaction with that frontal boundary as well. So that's where your chances are going to come from. Is it going to be intense? No. Is it going to be stormy? Probably not with this setup, but definitely not anything strong, and that's just because this isn't exactly the primed ingredients or the primed instability for severe weather to take place. Very grateful for that, but as that moisture builds, and we're talking later on into this week, into your opening weekend, that's where storms and potentially some strong storms are not an impossibility. The next 24, 6 a.m., 51 degrees, but look at how we climb throughout the day. 72 degrees by 3 p.m. So today, not an anomaly. If anything, it's the theme of the week, and we're enjoying that into our Tuesday as well. Tuesday night, we are continuing to see that those chances build more and more. 66 with 10% chance by 6, 62 with 30% chance by 9, continuing to climb into those overnight hours once again. So if you have late night plans on your Tuesday, then maybe grab the rain gear. But aside from that, afternoon plans should be good to go. Wrapping up by early evening, I think we're going to stay dry throughout the entirety of those plans. Coming up in 60, we're talking latest details on those rain chances, how much to expect, latest timing, all of those latest forecasts. But I did not forget, opening weekend is this weekend, and we have that latest look at the college baseball forecast here from Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Stay with us in the next 60 seconds.
I have been going to Tupelo Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Tupelo Smiles.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
By the time you see the symptoms of lung cancer, it could be too late. Now there's a new scan that can detect lung cancer early. If you smoked, get scanned.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
What a welcome sight in Cleveland this evening. 59 degrees, folks enjoying not ice on the ground, just that warm air overhead. A much better look than what we were tracking this time last week. Just shows that gradual trend of getting better, and things are definitely trending in the right direction, even getting into this week. But there are still thousands without power. We're still thinking about you during this time and saying our prayers for you, but we want to let you know that there are some blessings, and that's going to come with this forecast this week. Honestly, the house temperature, not too bad this week. 59 degrees right now, so a nice little breeze coming out of the south in Cleveland. Dew point's currently at 55, and that's going to keep our temperatures pretty comfortable during those overnight hours, not getting too extremely cold once again. As we take a look out there in Pontotoc, 52 degrees, but a calmer forecast on the wind, and that's just going to allow, yes, some of that moisture to settle at the surface and potentially give us some areas of patchy fog. Greenville, basically, if you're out west, you're getting more of a breeze than folks out in the eastern part of Mississippi. But we do expect those windy conditions to start moving east. So that's why we're not concerned about the fog, but it's not impossible that we do get some in some of those, some areas across North Mississippi. Our Mama Justice Doppler radar staying on the dry side. Once again, haven't tracked a drop all night. By the time we get into this time tomorrow, though, things are expected to change. And the big reason why is this low pressure center that continues to move across Omaha, Des Moines, up there towards Milwaukee. And that's going to give us some light showers, getting a few of those in the Minneapolis area. But we're expecting hours right along that leading edge once it extends more into North Mississippi. And all of our moisture down here in the southeast interacts with that front and allows for those showers to take place. So that's really going to be our story getting into our Tuesday night and for the start of our Wednesday. But tonight, not a drop is expected, and your Tuesday morning starting off as mild as I've ever seen in February. 51 degrees heading out the door by 6 a.m. Cloud cover will be a factor, but that's just that moisture building back into the area. But again, nothing of note in the forecast. We're going to be looking good as we go about our Tuesday. So as we take a look at those overnight hours, you see how it's going to start with some thin cirrus clouds building into North Mississippi by 2 a.m. But as we get more during those early a.m. hours, that cloud cover becomes a bit more dense. And you are seeing a few of those showers actually out there towards Arkansas. While I think it's a bit of a ambitious side whenever we're talking about that forecast and some rain chances crossing the river, it's not impossible to get a sprinkle or two. But again, these aren't our best chances. It's going to be later on in the forecast by our Tuesday evening. Low temperatures Tuesday. With how mild things are, especially out in the Delta, we're going to be 57 Cleveland, 57 Greenville, 56 Belzona, Greenwood, 51 Houston, still upper 40s in some of us in Tupelo, Boonville, and Corinth, but much better looking than what we had even 3 days ago. So it shows how quickly that forecast can change. And again, no complaints here in North Mississippi. By 7 a.m., again, here's that moisture that's trying to move into North Mississippi. And while I think a sprinkle is not impossible, these will be very light. And with that moisture just getting resustained in North Mississippi, I do expect a lot of these to be more elevated, meaning Virga is not an impossibility. Some of that rainfall that doesn't reach the surface. So that's what I expect this initial batch to be. But our meteorologist Maggie McCauley will have the latest outlook on that as she'll be tracking those in the moment as they cross through Arkansas, and if they will impact your forecast on your Tuesday morning. But again, it's not exactly going to be an impactful forecast, I'll say. 3 p.m. on your Tuesday, watch how this front starts to move into North Mississippi, and there's the better chances. We're talking about widespread showers across parts of west of I-55, especially down in the Delta, and that will gradually work its way across North Mississippi during those late evening and overnight hours. But before that moisture gets here, toasty forecast. I'm going to say toasty for this time of year. 75 degrees in Houston, 72 Holly Springs, Senatobia, South Haven, 73 in Corinth, 74 Columbus. Everywhere you look, there's orange, and orange is a good color to have in this forecast because it means warmer air, and we're getting to enjoy all of that throughout our Tuesday afternoon plans. Into your evening hours, though, look at how widespread these showers do become. Now, impacts going to remain pretty limited just because this isn't going to be a heavy downpour. Heaviest sections are actually towards Forest City, Arkansas, but you're getting some of those dark greens, and that's going to be moderate rainfall. But for the large portion of us, we're just seeing those light showers move across North Mississippi. So as we get into the 10, 11, and 12 o'clock on your Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, there are some reds and yellows showing up. What that means, and if you look at our scale up here, it kind of tells you it's going to be some heavier outputs of rainfall. Maybe a rumble of thunder, but not really with this setup are we going to see that. Like there's your red that's trying to move across the area. I do expect these to be more heavy downpours than anything else, but we are far from anything being strong. Definitely far from seeing anything severe. As we get our Wednesday started, those chances do try to work their way out of the area, but that'll be the back end of this system. As we track those rainfall totals, you can see how they get up to a decent amount in some spots, just about a half of an inch in Houston. This stripe right here we're watching from Grenada to Amory, and even up there towards Itawamba County, seeing a lot of green, meaning about a half inch of rainfall. So it's not impossible, but really I expect a few hundredths of an inch, maybe a couple tenths of an inch max with this system. And that moisture keeps our temperatures at bay. Low temperatures for the start of your Wednesday, 50 degrees in Tupelo, 46 Iuka, 47 Oxford, 50 in Bruce, 53 Eupora, 54 Greenwood, and 56 Louisville, Kosciuszko, and Macon. As we keep that day moving, it is, of course, going to remain mild, and that moisture will clear out by the time we get into the bulk of our Wednesday. And back behind that front, you do get this northerly wind in the forecast. That's moving in by mid-morning and will carry over into those lunchtime hours as well. Maybe a passing cloud here and there, but again, no rainfall going to be expected once that system pushes on out and leaves us with that drier forecast, that high-pressure-dominated forecast for sure. That sticks around into our Wednesday afternoon and evening. So Wednesday shaping up to be a dry day, perfect day to dry up those grounds a little bit more. And honestly, saw a few daffodils. Matt was talking about it at 6. As things come back to life, it's going to help absorb that ground. So if you've had a mushy ground for a while, reason why it's everything's dead. And in order for that ground to be absorbed, you need those roots to be back to life, and that'll start to absorb that water. And there you're getting a different story with a little bit of that drier ground, more alive ground, green, luscious grass. Excited to get that back in the forecast for sure. But your high temperatures on your Wednesday going to really help dry up that ground as well. We're 63 in Amory, 66 Eupora, Starkville, and then upper 50s there towards Boonville, Iuka, Corinth, and Red Bay. So the reason why we're showing you this is because it's still mild, but this is after the front has gone through. So temperatures are not dropping significantly, and our coldest day, honestly, is going to be for the start of our Wednesday once that front fully clears out. Our SEC baseball forecast. Now, I told you it was stormy. Well, the thing with baseball is it goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And here in Mississippi, you have to get lucky 3 days in spring. Doesn't exactly fare well because the forecast is always changing. So as we track that SEC baseball forecast, Friday looks like the best day out of the 3 that we're going to stay dry. But even then, isolated showers are possible in that warm sector that builds into North Mississippi, especially with a 4 o'clock first pitch. I mean, there's cloud cover, but it's not impossible at all to get some of that rainfall in this cloud cover there in Oxford for opening weekend. And this is Friday. Saturday is our best chance of rainfall, and some of that lingering moisture will be intact on Sunday. So, will we strike out? Or will we hit a home run? Probably not a home run. We're hoping for a single at this point, but probably going to be dealing with that rainfall for sure. And a big thank you to the folks at Carl Hogan for bringing us our SEC baseball forecast. You may remember them from football. Well, we're sticking together into baseball season and excited to bring you these forecasts each week as we head into our SEC baseball forecasts. And I love that transition there because it makes it seem like a baseball is coming through your TV. I'm so sorry for the jump scare. That was not... it might have been intentional. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to make sure you're awake at 10 o'clock on a Monday. As we take a look there in Stark Vegas, going to be a fun one as well. And one of the things that is gradually changing is that moisture is building with cloud cover. And same thing for folks in Oxford. That applies to Starkville. Rain chances not impossible as that warm sector builds in more and more, but at least the mild temperatures will be in place. And that is definitely a positive with this forecast. But I told you Saturday and Sunday are our best chances. Well, the Weather Prediction Center agrees with that one, with over 1.5 inches across North Mississippi, with some areas reaching as high as 2 inches. And this is still 5, 6, 7 days out. So this is one that will change, but we do expect that time frame to remain the same with that frontal system pushing in by the weekend. So baseball plans, fortunately opening weekend, not going to be the opening weekend we all desired, but hey, it's still going to be a great time to get out there on the diamond and see the Diamond Dogs, and is it the Diamond Rebs? I don't know what they're called over there. I got to get educated, but yeah, that's going to be this weekend, and this is what it looks like this weekend. So again, not fearing the best, but maybe there will be some windows here and there that allows us to get a baseball game in there. But Tuesday into Wednesday, the reason why those percentages are lower is because it's an overnight threat. So if you're doing anything late night Tuesday or really early on your Wednesday, grab that rain gear because those chances are going to be heightened. Brief break on Thursday, and then rain chances returning with a better output of rainfall by Saturday as that frontal system pushes in, and thunderstorms not impossible. A little bit more moisture, a little bit more instability as well. Not impossible to get a strong thunderstorm here and there. That's one of the things we're watching throughout your severe weather preparedness week. This week, we'll get you guys prepared. You just need to make sure to tune into the Mississippi Live Weather app for the very latest on that forecast. And speaking of, I appreciate everyone who has joined us tonight. And I see that some folks are talking about the Super Bowl. Shout out the Seahawks in case you missed it. I know my wife is happy for sure. But nonetheless, it was a good time, good season. And now we're shifting to the diamond. Going to be a fun time watching some baseball highlights, getting that baseball forecast, and excited to get it going. But before I finish up, basketball season is not over. If you have not submitted your nominee for our game of the week, it's not too late to do so. We'll get that list together tonight and get that poll up and running in the morning for where we're headed this Friday night. So it's not too late. Go ahead and go. And hopefully your team will make the list, and hopefully we get to get out there and go see you. But that's one of the things that you can expect here on Mississippi Live Weather. So that's why you got to download the app, because there's a lot to keep up with, and it's all organized right there. And it even has our 24-hour channel there at the top of the screen, right front and center. And that'll show you those live broadcasts. Speaking of, that live show list is on your screen, 6:30, 7, and 7:30 with meteorologist Maggie McCauley. She will have the latest on those rain chances. And 5, 6, and 10 tomorrow, Matt and I will be here. We'll probably be tracking some showers, unfortunately. So grab that rain gear for any of those late night plans on Tuesday. But we'll have that full updated forecast for you throughout your Tuesday here on Mississippi Live Weather.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.